What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick overview on my raid progression as well as how my alliance has been doing these past few weeks. We're doing the highest level in terms of the Incursion raids 2.2. And, this is, keep in mind, this is before the first strike Incursion raids are released yet. So hopefully that could be before the end of the year. It could be early next year. But, so far I've been doing fundamentally really good in obviously these nodes. But we know that there's going to be pain points going forward. We know there's likely going to be more teams coming to kind of smooth line that and make it easier to transition, especially if you're trying to get towards that 90 to 100% threshold to be the top of the top. But so far I've been pretty happy with how our alliance has been doing. For the past couple of seasons now, past few weeks, we're sitting comfortably in this top, 150 to 175 range, and it gets us a really healthy amount of rewards as well since they revised it. Obviously, the opportunity now to get, the Diamond Cyclops, but even more, like these teal epic orbs that allow you to get those materials towards gear tier 18, ultimately pushing towards Dark Dimension 6. So many more of our alliance members getting closer and closer to unlock, which has been huge. But I like how they've extended the rewards downwards so that honestly there's a really healthy amount of folks getting these teal orbs now, and it's just helping everyone get closer and closer to that end game goal, which has been huge. But with these Incursion raids, we've seen some really good, powerful teams at good value, and as well as not so powerful, right? Hence the changing meta, hence the new Extreme X-Men team, and the new symbiote reworks happening to the Hive Mind team. So, that's why it's going to be addressing those issues. But I want to talk to you guys about the teams that have been working for myself, those team levels. That way you guys can get a sense of what is actually working at this highest level of raid right now before we see what the new first strike raids will be. And as well, what you can be focusing on building up, right? So as you can see here, guys, consistently, we have been hitting around that 60 to 65% daily every day. So it's been getting us a really healthy amount of rewards, because if you recall rewards, you're able to get that tier 2, right? And that's hitting that 60% threshold. 100%, it's going to take us quite some time. Like, we're still trying to get through obviously the big sections being bio and skill, but that's going to take some time, and obviously with new teams coming out, it's going to be easier and easier. But thankfully for my strike team, we've been doing really good, so we're able to translate that and obviously help our teams out. But what has been working, well, let me just show you guys what how far we can actually get into these to hit the 60%, right? We're able to clear most of the sections. Obviously the bio, like I said, I'm mentioning there, many folks having issues there. We're not really able to fully clear all 3 lanes. We've been having to either do teams of 2 or just having everyone in front load a lane just to push forward into the skill nodes. And even then, skill nodes is pretty much undoable for our alliance right now, and many of these folks getting past mutant. But again, it's usually bio that's going to be the bottleneck unless you have super scroll on the team. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, some of the levels that we do work, so you guys know what has been working, right? So if you recall, it starts off in mystic, followed by tech, then it's mutant, then finally bio, and then lastly skill. Thankfully skill is at the very end, so getting that last 20% isn't that big of a deal. So I want to show for a case for you guys now the team levels and really how effective some of these teams have been working, right? So for my mystic nodes, using just the pure Bifrost team, but really Val being that core and engine of the team, 892k total team power has been getting the job done, which has been huge, guys. And and also for reference, if you guys are interested, I've made guides up until mutant nodes, and I'll link that below if you guys are interested in how I've been doing that day after day through my raids. But yeah, these team levels are working exceptionally well. It's just a testament to the value that you can build up some of these amazing raid teams while having to overinvest, and they're still getting the job done, at least until we see what these new Incursion raids first strike will be like. And I'll definitely keep you guys up to date if I have to make those revisions. But so far, getting the minimal done, and they both the mystic and as well as the tech teams here, they can actually get the job done at these levels on all 3 nodes. So as you can see, Bifrost being 892, we got the similar kind of format here with Pegasus, Kestrel being that core of the team, really driving all the attacks. And both Kestrel and Val were both brought into Dark Dimension 6, so you're going to have amazing value just building up these 2 raid teams. But as well, they'll have that staying power because they can be reused later on in the Dark Dimension stages if you choose to use them. And I think there's immense value there as well. Remember, Kestrel is also needed for Big Apocalypse's unlock gear tier 17. So, I mean, you're going to be getting a lot of value already by building her up and also being part of this raid team. But 911k for their team, getting all 3 nodes done, very easy. If you guys recall my account, I don't have a big boy apocalypse, so I have to do a different sort of tactic where I need to sack initially, so that way I can build up my apocalypse turn, so that way he emulates a big apocalypse. So that's why you have two different teams here. My first team is a burner team that goes in, so the apocalypse can get his turn. So it doesn't really matter team power, so as long as they survive the attacks. I do like the fact that Phoenix can get some additional attacks if she falls with Dark Phoenix. And then lastly, the team that actually gets the job done then is mainly my Dev Seed, right? In opt of my apocalypse here. So this is my full Dev Seed here. I really like Garrotier 18 my Archangel here, just because he can obviously bring back all energy, but he's likely the second most important member of the team next to Apocalypse when you need to do the nodes. But it's great to see that how strong they are. 1.6, there's gonna be value for big Apocalypse, but obviously I'm sure you guys have seen it already, but Nightcrawler and his fellow two Extreme X-Men team plus a couple of these other X-Men or Def C can get the job done now a much lower level. There's huge value there to be had. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that plays out in the future. But I also made a video on this earlier, is that, you know, I don't see Def C being skippable just yet unless they lower the requirements for Apocalypse. So for the meantime, there's gonna be value keeping Def C right now, but you need a pretty big Def C to get through these mutant nodes. That's the only catch. But keep in mind, if you're going for big Apocalypse, many folks likely will have them already at level 90 and gear tier 17. So just something to be mindful of. And then lastly, you know, this team right here, it's not practical for most folks because you actually do need Super Scroll, but this is a team that's worked for me. I can solo the first two nodes of Bio, and then the Bio boss node, sometimes I can clear it, sometimes I just need my team to clean up, but this has been the team that's been getting it done. Winter Soldier, US Agent, not really that high, but because Captain Carter and Captain America both were brought into Dark Dimension 6, and then obviously having Super Scroll, this has been the team that's been getting it done for myself. So 1.4 million, not too bad. I could push them higher, but, you know, we've already seen that Hive Mind's coming around the corner, so I'm probably holding back on that, and then they're still able to get them pretty well, or my alliance members can clean up and take us to the finish line for skill nodes. And then lastly, guys, this is my Invaders team. I am really happy that this is what worked in the past Incursion raid. So this worked up until 1.6 for Incursion. But I have not put any investment into them, because the moment you get to skill nodes, we're at the end of our energy, and we're also not pushing for 100% unless that's required later on. So I don't think this team works. I haven't had a chance to try it, to be honest, because at that point we're already low on energy and we're thinking about, you know, the next raid that's getting launched. So I've heard that you need some pretty beefy skill teams to get up there. So for the meantime, I've saved my investment and my gold materials on other things and held back on Invaders. I would caution you guys as well. Only thing being is, if you guys are watching this and you're doing Incursion 1 right now, you do need Invaders, right? Because the skill section is one of the earlier sections in Incursion 1. So this is how high I built it, guys. So I'm just giving you a heads up. You don't need to over invest in Invaders, because it's probably not going to matter in the later Incursions unless they bring them back in the earlier section. For the meantime, this 958k got me all the way through 1.6. You're not able to sim the nodes, but you are able to actually manual play, and they can get the job done. So just something to be mindful of, guys. There you have it. That's a wrap. That's my Incursions 2.2 overview right now, the team and power levels that have worked. Hopefully this helps you guys kind of prepare in terms of, you know, what to expect, but as well the team levels that you can build up to, and what has been working for endgame players like myself. So hopefully this helps. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.